This is basically a no-fail way to make your coats look really good with whatever clothing that you're wearing, because then it draws all the attention to the coat itself and not so much about what you're wearing underneath. And for myself, I know that this Welcome to the ladies' dressing room. Today we are talking all about trench coats and what we are going to do to prepare for fall. This is the perfect time of the year, for me at least, especially before we really get into the season, to focus on what is to come, and if there are any holes within our wardrobe, things that maybe didn't work out for us the year before. What kind of things did we use or not use? Now, at the end of a season, this could also be the time that you would want to go through items that you didn't wear, for instance. But personally, I do like to go back through to the next year, because my feelings might change. And I mean, there have been some things that for sure I decided, okay, I haven't worn this in years, I'm going to get rid of it. But there's something about waiting until that season rolls around again to make that final decision. So it has been over a year now that there have been certain trench coats, for instance, that I did not wear at all, and I'm ready to part with those. And then there are those pieces that I've added to my wardrobe because I was looking for something, like something to replace something, or just something new in general. And in the process of doing that, there have been things that I've purchased on Poshmark that did not fit me. So I've spoken in a video in the past about how this sometimes happens. Not everything is a winner, right? And this is why we would ask for measurements. This is why we would maybe ask some more questions or really read the description of an item before we purchase it, so that we know if it will fit us or not. But then some things are kind of not able to be seen. There was this picture of a trench coat that was a vintage trench coat that I purchased, and I was really disappointed when I received it because the shoulders just swallowed me whole. It was the kind that had built-in shoulder pads, and I don't know, I feel like maybe because my head is much smaller than maybe the average head, and I don't have a lot of volume with my hair, that I don't feel like I could pull off shoulder pads. I feel that this is something that some ladies look great in, and even back, like, I admired the way that some ladies could wear this style in the past, but it just isn't for me. So when I tried this coat on, it was the perfect color. The texture of the fabric was just beautiful. And by the way, this was a London fog trench coat. It was really long. I could see it being so nice if it was raining out, or just if it was really windy out, having so much coverage. But yeah, this definitely was not a fit for me. And then there was another slate blue trench coat that I had purchased, another London fog one. When I start looking at a certain brand, then all of the London fog ones come out, or all of that kind of brand is starting to be suggested to me. And then I might find some things, but it can also just be a little deceiving just because of the way that it may be pictured, or the way that the waist is cinched in. You just don't know how it will look until you get it. So that's part of the struggle of trying to add to your wardrobe when you're not able to shop in person. So this could be something that's a struggle, not even just with Poshmark or secondhand, but things that you may be purchasing online too. So just know that there is that possibility that something may not fit well. If there's a return policy, that's great, but then there's also that option of reposhing an item, reselling an item. That's something that I'm going to be doing with these two beautiful, beautiful, perfect condition trench coats. And one of them, the slate blue one, also has an insert with it so that if it's a really cold day or something, you're able to put that in there just to have that extra layer, which is so nice. But I did find another London Fog trench coat that was perfect, that fit me just right. It didn't have the added shoulder pads to it. It didn't feel like it was swallowing me whole, as I like to say. So one of the things that I had to do was I had to go down in size from what I thought my current size was. So that's the thing with sizes, is that it's really hard to determine sometimes, especially when you're talking about vintage pieces compared to the sizes today, as they are just different over, and also within brands they could be different too. So I have recently found one, thankfully, and it was a used one on Poshmark, but it's in just the best condition. It had a removable hood to it, which most of the time I don't really like to have a hood on my coat, so I was very grateful for that. And yet, if it's going to be a rainy day or something, then this is something that I would definitely want to put back on. So it's one of those that buttons on. Now, one of the things with a trench coat that I always like to really encourage is to find a coat just a little bit longer than the dresses that you like to wear, if you're wearing dresses and skirts. Now, I have different lengths, and I understand that it's not always possible, especially when you're talking about wearing maybe a maxi dress or a longer midi length. Then sometimes some of those coats that you may be wearing would be a little too short for that. So I understand that this isn't something that is a hard and fast rule, but it is a rule that it's one of those things to kind of think about, because there is something so beautiful about not breaking that line when it comes to wearing a coat over your dress and not having your dress really poke out of the bottom. It's just a very, very elegant look, something that I really pay attention to, but I've also been known to go out even with a little bit of my dress or my skirt hanging out of the bottom, and you know, it's completely fine too. I really don't think that anyone is sitting there saying, oh no, her dress is hanging out of her coat. I mean, that's more of something that for me visually I think is so much more appealing to see no break in the line. But and it's just a very elegant look altogether, but not all coats will end up covering, and sometimes you just need to make do, right? We can't always have a coat for every single length of dress or skirt that we may be wearing. But for today, I wanted to go into the dressing room to share with you what dress and coat I've gone with. First and foremost, let's talk about this dress that I'm wearing, which is one that I've shared probably recently. It is a cotton blend dress from Amazon. I'm actually purchasing a couple more because it is such a comfortable dress. I love the length, and it is perfect for going into the fall/winter months, but mainly the fall months, because of course it is shorter sleeve, and I do like to have a long sleeve in the winter. But this is something that will pair so well with sweaters over it or a cardigan, but especially a trench coat. And the length of this is perfect for the trench coats that I have, because all of my trench coats are pretty much longer than the dress itself. So one of the things that I would really encourage you to do is find a trench coat that is very similar to the main colors that you wear within your wardrobe. So for myself, that would be blue. I love blue. I love wearing blue so much. I do have some other neutral colors that I would wear, but if you would like to go with more of a monochromatic look, or something where the colors that you have within your wardrobe are definitely going to blend well with whatever coat that you're wearing, definitely choose a coat in the same color family as the colors that you already have within your wardrobe. This is basically a no-fail way to make your coats look really good with whatever clothing that you're wearing, because then it draws all the attention to the coat itself and not so much about what you're wearing underneath. And for myself, I know that this is a really great look in general, because when I'm out and about in the fall or in the winter months, the coat becomes the center focus. It's really what all eyes are on. And I can't tell you how many times over the years I have been complimented on my coats. So I used to say that, you know, dresses were my favorite thing to wear all the time, but finding a really good coat, I just feel, is the dress in the really cold months of fall or in winter. So don't overlook a coat and the importance of one. So here we are, we have the dress, which is kind of I want to say it's a seafoam green color, but it's not, it doesn't have so much green in it. So that's why I can wear this one, because I know I've spoken in the past about the seafoam color for me, especially with my coloring. It just didn't look as great together, but as long as it has a little bit more blue in it, then it's perfect. So this trench coat right here, which is a faux suede, I believe I found, yes, I did find this one on Poshmark as well. So many of my clothing, so many pieces that I have come from Poshmark. It's like you can find all the things that you no longer can in store there, and people are trying to get rid of them left and right. So I found this beautiful powder blue trench coat, so light, and I just love it. So it goes with this beautifully. It's longer than the dress, and that's why, like I said, find a dress that is just a tad bit shorter than the coat, and or at least the same length, and you just can't go wrong with that. But again, don't worry if it sticks out just a little bit. I understand that today they just don't make coats the way that they used to. So sometimes you're going to run into the coat being much shorter, just because most of them, I don't know why they do that, because I feel that a really beautiful coat is a bit longer, because it's made to cover everything, and just, yeah, I don't know. It's just, sometimes it's harder to find the right length of coat. So if you purchase them, like the older ones, you might have a better chance of finding what it is that you're looking for. So just keeping that in mind, meaning how long of a dress that you would typically wear, or how long you want it to be. Keep that in mind for when you're shopping, especially secondhand. But if you are going coat shopping, I would encourage you to wear the dress that you would already be wearing in those months, or what you plan on wearing underneath to go coat shopping, because it will make it really easy when you put it on. It will really take the guesswork out of, is it going to be too long or too short, things like that. So this is one of those tried and true trench coats that I am definitely not going to part with, but I was looking for something that was a little bit more water resistant, and that's why those London Fog trench coats would be really wonderful, and why I was keeping an eye out for something that I felt would really work well with all of the pieces that I already have and what I plan on wearing in the fall months. So this coat is by London Fog. As I said, I want you to look at the interior of this. It's kind of just a tan with this print on it, which I think is very nice and subtle and nice. Nice and subtle and nice, yes. But this is a slate blue, which I use this color so much within my wardrobe. So I felt like even with this dress, which is not a slate blue, but it has more of that blue in it. I think that that monochromatic look just looks so elegant together, but I am getting this dress in more of a slate blue color, which I think will look nice. Now you can just wear the coat open, not even button it, which most of the time I feel like that's, you know, just the easiest way to wear it. But then also you could button the button closest to your waist and use that as a way to keep the coat together or where you'd like it to be, and then tie the sash, which I do that. Anything that kind of pokes out a little bit, I will then tuck it under the belt area, and then it just, to me, looks very nice and pulled together without buttoning it all up all the way. And then that offers a little bit more movement, I would say, because it kind of flares out a little bit, which to me, I really like that look the most, where it gives you more of that hourglass look. And I do have a few trench coats that are flare style, which I think are really beautiful. And they're so hard to part with, even though some of the colors are just not my favorite colors anymore, but they're also coats that my daughters can wear too. So I do like having a variety of coats, but especially because depending on what it is that I'm wearing, I tend to like to go for more of the monochromatic look when it comes to dresses and coats. But that's just me. If there is a certain way that you like to pair your coats with your dresses or skirts, please let me know that in the comments below. So anyway, finding the right coat for you, especially if you're thinking about, you know, what did you tend to wear the year before or in years past? Are those coats working out well for you, or is there something, maybe a little hole in your wardrobe that you are seeking to fill? Now would be the perfect time to do a little bit of looking around, searching for that right piece, a trench coat in the length that is just right for you. The material that you are looking for will make all the difference. And now that I have something that is a lot more water repellent, I am really, really grateful for this, because those faux suede ones definitely just soak in all the water. Not something to wear if it's a rainy day, for instance. So anyway, I can't wait to hear what you have to add to this conversation in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that something in today's video inspired you in some way, and that you will choose beauty every day.